one thing we deeply believe here at Healing Quest is that when we heal the planet, we heal ourselves.
Accomplishing that, of course, is a lot easier said than done.
So today, Judy's going to introduce us to someone who's devoting his life to making that a reality.
Chris Killam has one of the most unusual academic titles in the world. He's Explorer in Residence at the University of Massachusetts in Amherst. He's an ethnobotanist, which means he studies the relationship between people and plants. But for much of the year, he's a long way from this historic campus in New England. Instead, he's in places like the Amazon rainforest or the island of Vanuatu in the South Seas. His goal is to bring the benefits of medicinal plants into mainstream American life and thereby, in his view, catch up with the rest of the world.
Plant medicines, or herbal medicines, are the #1 category of medicine in use in the world today. About 5 billion people on Earth use plants as medicines. They don't do so because they're ignorant, superstitious, or stupid. They do so because plants work. Approximately 40% of all of our medicines are either derived from plants or are synthesized versions of molecules that are derived from plants. So plants are the basis of our modern pharmacy.
But it's a long way from the rainforest to a store shelf. So a key goal for Chris is to develop the commerce that can support these herbal medicines.
I'm a big believer in plant trade. I don't just go to a place, learn about an herb, and say, wow, that was really exciting. If I do that, basically I've failed a mission. I try to work for what people have come to refer to as the triple bottom line. I want to deliver good herbal products to the general public. And that requires establishing trade. I want people to have a choice of wholesome, safe, proven effective, beneficial herbs. I help to establish trade in different medicinal plants that I encounter. When that trade is affected well, when the projects work well, it also means that we're protecting the environment, either by producing those botanicals, say by organic certification, or if they're wild harvested, by sustainable means that ensures that there'll be enough of them, for the future. And then the third part of that is I work with native groups to ensure that they get paid a decent wage and that their communities accrue benefits in the form of remodeled schools, free health care, and other services that they usually lack. If somebody gets rid of a cold as the result of taking an herb, but the environment isn't protected and native people are making a poverty wage in the harvesting of that herb, there's no healing going on. That's just symptomatic relief. I really want this broad arc of healing, and I believe that a way to accomplish that is through thoughtful, humane trade.
The other thing this trade does is help save the planet's rainforests. Chris says they're in more danger than ever before, and they're more vital than ever before to our health.
There's a notion that if we're involved in healing the planet, that is in remediating some of the devastation that's been done to the natural environment, that we're also healing ourselves. Of course that's true. The earth and everything on it is basically one living thing. We're not divisible from nature. We're part of nature, just like every wave is part of the ocean, not separate from it. As we clean up the environment, as we vote with our dollars and buy organic and buy sustainably produced and walk away from overpackaged goods, and as we get smarter about that and we do good things for the environment, we do good things for our physical and mental health. There is no separation between us and the natural environment.
Chris has written 14 books on medicinal plants and ethnobotany, and he's keenly aware of the criticism that the benefits of plant medicines have not been substantiated by Western science.
People need to understand, I believe, that the science on herbal medicine is vast and deep and extraordinary. I read sometimes in the media that there isn't adequate enough science to recommend these things. Well, there's every bit as much science as there is on drugs, but these herbs don't kill people and the drugs do.
Chris says plant medicine offers powerful benefits right now, but receiving those benefits requires some initiative on our part.
If you or I want to be healthy, whether it's our digestion, our reproduction, our skin, our anything, we have to assume greater responsibility for our wellness. And one of the best ways to do that is to be familiar with and to use on a regular basis plant medicines.
How can people find that out? Who can they trust?
Who they can trust. They can trust entities like the American Botanical Council, whose information is the best in the world. They can buy The Green Pharmacy by Dr. James Duke, who was the USDA's top botanist for 30 years, and it's a fantastic book. If you have The Green Pharmacy, there are very few symptoms you could suffer from that you can't find relief for in those pages for herbs from the government's top plant scientist. I think, you know, American Botanical Council, The Green Pharmacy. I'd love people to visit my site, medicinehunter.com. I think the site has a long way to go, but there's good information there too. And talk with people who are knowledgeable. Find out what you can. Read, you know, take it upon yourself. Nobody's going to do this for us. We have to do this for ourselves.
Chris also had some sobering facts for me. He said that despite all the attention on rainforest preservation in recent years, rainforests are being cut down at an accelerated rate all over the world. He also said that only 3% of rainforest plants have been evaluated for their medicinal benefits. Now, Olivia, I know this is a topic that's near and dear to your heart.
Yes, very, very. In fact, I'm very fortunate to have just been married to a wonderful man who is lovingly known as
Yes.
Amazon John, because he has a company called Amazon Herb Company, and he brings herbs and natural plants from the Peruvian rainforest, mainly in the Amazon. So I was fortunate enough to go down there with him and witness what is happening down there. And yes, there's a lot of cutting down, but also there's a lot of wonderful research coming out of the rainforest, and more reason to preserve the rainforest, and as he's doing with his company by bringing these wonderful healing plants back. So I'm very intrigued by this and lucky enough to be a part of it.
And to be a part of it, no, we need to be able to know what's in the rainforest so that we can bring more products to people that can heal them.
Well, there's so much more in there that we even know, and I'm glad to say more will be discovered if we preserve it, and that's one of the missions that we're on.
Yes, it is.